So if you were to look in the crystal ball, or maybe you already have maybe you've already spotted a couple things in the crystal ball, where do you think PMI certification and topic in the PMBOK are going?
Good question. I think, first of all, certification is here to stay. That's not going to change.
I think we need to pep it up a little bit, but I agree with you.
Yeah, I think it needs here. This is the beauty of Pierre. He came on not understanding what it was. Now he got his. He took the test already, passed. But the fact of the matter
better
is,
than some of his predecessors.
Yeah, and he's realized that the cash cow is certification.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got 1.5 million and your next closest is 70,000, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure out that's where I want to focus.
Well, my biggest competitor here in Austria was IPMA.
Oh yeah. Oh, sure.
And the difference between PMI and IPMA is that nationally, the national organizations get the brunt of that money. Do you know what the competing budget from the IPMA? IPMA in Austria had a $500,000 budget.
Really?
Yeah. And when we came on in Austria, they told us, you have no chance against these people. They're established. We kicked their butt. I have no problem saying it on screen. We kicked their butt with a 0. But the reason I'm mentioning that is not to make myself or my team sound great. Although thanks a lot to my team from back then. I'm saying it because if you have the right spirit, you can do a lot. It's not only about the money. And I agree with you that I think that PMI is wise to look at the certification as a cash cow. I wish they would do more about their understanding membership, though.
Yeah, I'm working on that right now. I think one of the reasons they want me out in the field is so I don't be here to bother them, because I definitely I think they've undercut the membership. I mean, we have a 1.5 million PMPs. We only have 650,000 members.
That's a mistake.
Now, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out there's something wrong with that number. And so, I mean, if people are joining just to get the discount, there's something wrong with the membership.
And I absolutely, thank you, Lee. Can I tell you another crazy thought? I remember when this is a long time ago, but when we founded PMI Chapter Austria, we used to go to all these meetings and stuff, and we would meet, the chapter presidents from Germany and the chapter presidents from France and the chapter presidents from London. There were multiple at the time. And I remember the standard question, I don't know if you've ever experienced, the number one question was always, what chapter are you from? And the second question right out of the barrel was, how many members do you have?
Yep.
You know what my answer was? I don't know. And I don't care.
Yeah.
And they would look at me like I'm a heathen. And then I said, you know what? Ask me the more relevant question. And they go, what's that? I said, ask me how many people I have in my database who are there intentionally and who we interact with and invite to our events monthly. And they go, how many? I go, 5,000 to 7,000. Okay?
Yeah.
And I think I'm hoping for PMI, this is something I would love to tell them if they were to listen. I wish they would kind of reactivate their understanding of membership, and that I think certification is a great vehicle. I think it can be something that we rally around, something that creates unity. But I wish, it used to be a time when PMI used to publish on a regular basis its membership, and it would always go up and up and up. And I think they just don't understand what the value of it is, and that's why I sometimes wish that they would stop getting people from the outside of PMI to lead PMI, and maybe get somebody from the inside who actually understands how the organization works. Although I think I'm very happy that we have Pierre, and I wish him all the best, and I'm sure he'll do a great job. I think some of the other CEOs or presidents just didn't really understand the nature but hats off to him that he got the PMP. That's already a step in the right direction. I never understood how anybody can represent an organization that doesn't have the certification that it's famous for.
I agree. He's making it mandatory for most of his management team. So,
he should. He should.
Yeah,
I mean, how can you preach water and drink wine? That just doesn't work that way.
I get the question all the time. How many people at corporate, although they're all now distributed because of the pandemic, but how many people at corporate have their PMP. Not that many.
Yeah.
Not that many. People in positions that should definitely have it don't have it.
Yeah.
And so Pierre's recognized that. He's putting the pressure on. He's saying, look, if this is the organization you're going to work for and represent, you have to go by the same standards as everybody else.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think we lost track of what a member really looks for. And the past year or so, there's been a group of us working on chapter engagement, meaning membership engagement, to find out why are they coming and leaving at such a rapid rate? Why are we not retaining members? Now, the reason for that is I used to work a lot for volunteer groups, JCs, and we found it was a lot easier to get new members than it was to retain the old ones. I think that's still true. If you don't provide something for the old ones that keep them coming back.
You know what the old ones need? Tell me what the old ones need.
What do you mean?
What do you think the old ones need? Because I'm an old one.
They need to be involved. They need to feel...
maybe some semblance of appreciation.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, I mean, I'll be quite honest with you. I spent 10 years as a chapter president, completely personally with my own personal checkbook, covered whatever financial risk because of the legal status of PMI in Austria, covered it with my own checkbook, okay? Did endless events. We did larger national events that PMI Europe did, okay? And I don't need anybody to blow my horn or toot my horn, but any form of appreciation in hindsight. And you and I could probably go through a list of different chapter presidents we know who were trailblazers, okay, that nobody talks about anymore. There's a couple of them. I think it's great that PMI has this fellow concept, you know. Thomas Valenta, I'm sure that you're familiar with.
Oh, I know Tom.
You know, Al Zaytoun. I mean, these are icons of the PMI world, you know, and they should be fellows. They should be held up. And that's why, and that's why I was so thrilled when I saw you on LinkedIn. I said, this is where the spirit of PMI should be going. And if I can do anything to even in a mild way to get your name out there even more and to show appreciation for what you do, I wanted to have this opportunity to talk to you.
I appreciate that. I'm like you. I'm not looking for personal attention. I already know I'm great. So I don't need to have a bunch of people telling me that.
Well, it doesn't help if you have to say you're great. You have to get everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I want people out there saying that. And so when I make those personal contacts, people will go like, "Why are you doing that? Does that really make a difference?"
It does.
Not to me, it doesn't, but to them, it does. Yeah. I mean, I've got people who, when I contact them, it's like, "Oh my God, this is Lee Lambert, the founder of the PMP. He's talking to me directly." I mean, that guy, hell, he'll be flying high for days. And so that's what I think we need to do.